Hey VC, Chris Burt here. I'm gonna do Rob Walker's final tag for 2024. Um, I'm just gonna hop right into it. Uh, let's see. Number one question is your favorite record that you purchased in 2023. I've talked about this a lot on my channel, but it was kind of a grail for me. I've shown this a lot. This is the Visitors self-titled. It's the only album they did. Um, early 80s came out. It's a Dennis Tech. It's one of Dennis Tech's bands from down in Australia. But I heard about this maybe 10 years ago. Maybe it's, but it had been, I had a hard time finding all the tracks on YouTube because I heard about it. I think it was through like, I forget, REM, probably uh, Michael Stipe or Peter Buck talking about good albums from the 80s. Anyway, it was kind of a grail for me. I picked it up. It was more than that. It was, but if you can read that. But it was, yeah. I paid a little bit for it, but it's really cool. And I heard all those tracks that and some of the Lipstick Killers tracks are on there. I'm not sure why, but okay. So and then number two question is the last record that I bought in 2023 for Christmas. My family got me this Little Beauty by Wilco, their record from 2022, but I think it came out in this format this year. So, but I still haven't heard their cousin's record. But the last one I bought, because I got that for Christmas, went back to work, before New Year's, and stopped by the record store, picked this up. So yeah, I forgot to mention that I'm going to try to answer all of these questions with albums that I got this year. So all of these are albums I got this year, right? Just repeat myself, but yeah, so this is the last one I got. Number three, a band or a singer who released two or more albums in the same year. So to fit it in with this will kind of break the rules maybe, but okay, so we got REM. Picked this up this year. Might be their fifth. Is it their fifth record? So it's number five. The one I love, and it's The End of the World as We Know It. Great record from their last IRS release. This came out in the fall of 1987. The follow-up to Life Search Pageant. But before that came out, this record came out. It's a greatest hits B-sides compilation. Not greatest hits, just B-sides. So these hadn't been released before on an LP, a 12-inch. So great stuff on here. They have three covers of Velvet Underground songs, and this was one of the early ones that I got when I was getting into REM, and now I have it on vinyl. So that's cool. I got it this year, and it came out in 1987, like early spring '87. So two in 1 year from REM. Only one studio album, of course. And then I grabbed these two because I got this just a couple months ago, and this came out in the fall of '66, and this came out in January of '67. So it's it's not in the same calendar year, but yeah, within a year's time of each other. I wanted to pick this up because I heard a bunch of people talking about it on that it was the first punk album, and yeah. Another thing I guess maybe I should mention, I don't think I mentioned, is yeah, I finally got a job. I've been working from home since 2019, and no, 2020, but and yeah, finally got a job out of the house, and so there's two record stores close to where I work, so I find an excuse to get down there as often as I can on my lunches and breaks. And so I've picked up a lot of records this year, more than I have in a long time. So that's why I have so many records. Yeah, the most I've picked up in a long time. I already said that. All right, so moving on to question number 4, right? If you could only listen to music from one decade, which decade would you choose? I chose the 60s, even though I really only probably like the stuff from the second half of the decade. I could make a good case for the 60s, 70s, or 80s. Probably not as strong with the 90s as I could for the others, um, but there's always good music. I mean, if you had access to everything that came out in that decade, I'm sure you'd be happy enough, right? But I think going without the Beatles would be pretty tough. I listen to them a lot still, and they, been listening to them for 20, 30 years, 30 plus years. And all right, so I got this album this year finally. Different cover than I was expecting. So I was kind of bummed by that, but it still sounds good. Uh, and that's 60s music. If you go with the 60s, you also get Buffalo Springfield. You get the Association, great bands like Johnny Cash. I think this probably came out in the 50s, but this pressing is from 62. I'm thinking this is late 50s, but I could be wrong. But Johnny Cash was around in the 60s. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Tom Paxton. You get the folk stuff from the early 60s. You get heavy stuff like Cream. These are all records I got this year. All right, that's all I got. Show a record by a band or a singer from Manchester. This is question number 5. I went with Graham Coxon. Graham Coxon. Not Graham Coxon, Graham Nash. Graham Coxon is a guitar player from Blur. Anyways, got this for $1 in the dollar bin, and I love this record. I knew it before. I must have just had it on a download, or maybe I just streamed it on YouTube. But I've heard it before and I've liked it, and so when I saw it, I grabbed it because I like all these songs, especially the first side, Military Madness. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's his first solo album, and it's great songs on there. And so, picked that up this year, Graham Nash from Manchester. The band that I probably listened to most in 2023, this is question number 6. This probably isn't totally true, but I did listen to a lot of this band. They were a new band for me this year. RVG, the Romy Vegger group. I'm probably saying that wrong. But it was kind of an homage to the Patti Smith group, and then now they just go by RVG to put less focus on her, I guess, is what I've heard. But this is their second record. Their third record came out this year, Brainworms. This is Feral. Great heavy rock stuff, some more mellow stuff. Really broad sound, almost different genres. Not quite, but sort of, yeah. Not so much on this one, but the one this year, there was, heavy rockers, like definitely 80s synth sort of feel on some of the songs. I tend to describe things as Roy Orbison, even though it doesn't sound like Roy Orbison, but it's got that, that emotional tug to it. Anyway, great band, Australian band. Second Australian band I've shown so far. So that's question number 7. This is question number 7. That was 6. 7 inches. And I did get, these are all the 7 inches I got this year, which is probably almost doubled my 7-inch collection. But let me show you what I got. So this is Blur's single, I guess it came with. I got the 12-inch, and this came with it. I got the album, and then this single came with it. It is The Swan and The Rabbi. Just some bonus tracks on the CD. Here's the CD right here. Yeah, I got this really cool version where it came with the CD, and so it's the last 2 tracks on the CD. And bonus tracks on the LP. All came together in one little package. Pretty cool. That was almost my favorite buy of the year, just because yeah. Anyway, so another 7-inch. Just got this recently within the last couple weeks. Neil Halstead. This is from 2020. 2012 Brushfire. It's tennis themed. I haven't looked into this yet because it's still pretty new. I listened to it and it's not quite like his normal, just folksy solo stuff. You know, he's with Slowdive. He's the main voice in Slowdive, or the songwriter, I think. I don't know much about Slowdive, honestly, so I know more about Mojave 3 that he was a part of as well. But yeah, so Neil Halstead, the A side is You Are the Glue and Tennis for Dennis. It's got like a piano-y, electric piano-y sort of feel to it, a little bouncy, happier than the stuff I'm used to from him. But yeah, interesting. Oh, I was going to show you there's the tennis ball, right? And on this side, it's just a faux tennis ball. All right, then we got the Human League. Don't You Want Me, Baby? Billy Joel, Tell Her About It. Couldn't pass that up. I got a bunch of these for like 50 cents, and they were picture sleeves. And some of them, like this is one that needs to be cleaned. I haven't played this one even. It probably could play fine, but so it's Van Halen, I'll Wait, backed with Girl Gone Bad. And then we got Men Without Hats, Safety Dance, backed with Living in China. And then I got this one from my buddy down in Louisiana, Sean Cecilia, I think is his name. For some reason anyway, Sean who changes his name a lot, changes his channel name a lot. Voodoo Child, and also got this from Sean Santana single, Ocean. And then this one, DeBarge, Who's Holding Donna Now. I remember that from 5th grade, I think. If I had to guess, it's 5th or 6th maybe. All right, that's 7 inches. Number 9, We Lost Them. Choose one musician who passed away in 2023. I didn't know he had died, but I was looking through albums that I bought this year, and turns out that Robbie Bachman from BTO died, Bachman Turner Overdrive, and he died early in the year, like January-ish, and then his brother, Tim Bachman, died just a few months later, like April, if I remember. And so Robbie was in the band for the whole stretch. Tim was only there for the first 2 albums. I picked these up for $1 a piece. I think this is the 3rd, and this is the 4th record, or it might be vice versa. And yeah, so he died. He was the drummer. He's this guy. His name again is Robbie Bachman. This is Randy Bachman, BTO, Taking Care of Business. Taking Care of Business is not on these, but anyway, yeah, I'm not a huge BTO fan, but it was like $1, so I picked him up. I used to like him in high school, but okay, so number 10 is Imagine you could only listen to music from one country. Which country would you choose? And I'm going with the UK, with England. I think I'm going to claim the whole. I guess you can't claim Ireland, just Northern Ireland, but which messes me up actually, because I think I have an Irish band in here. Anyway, I'm going to go through. These are all records I got this year. UK bands, The Cure. If you go with UK, you get to listen to The Cure. You get to listen to Blur. Not just their B-sides, but their full albums. You get... Okay, sorry, I'm back. It was getting really hot. I had to make a quick edit here. I don't have to shoot this again. So we were on number 10. I'm going through this list of UK bands that you get if you choose the UK. You can listen to Fontaines DC. Not super familiar with that album still, but you got David Bowie, you get Paul McCartney, John Lennon is from the UK, George Harrison, the Beatles, Stones. This is super cool. I've wanted this album for a long time. Got it this year. Coldplay, for crying out loud. You get Coldplay. They're part of the UK. They're in the UK. Tears for Fears. I got this for $1. It's $8.49 back in the day, I guess. Van Morrison. Even Elton John. So I think the obvious choice is the UK. Oh, there's more. The Who. U2 is, yeah. I'm not sure if Fontaine DC are Irish too. So these guys technically, I guess, don't count. But Genesis. You can get Genesis. Pretty sure they're full-on Brits. Okay, the next question, number 11, is name 3 vinyl community channels that you discovered in 2023. I discovered a lot. It's kind of hard to remember or keep straight if they were this year or last year, but recently for these, because I've watched these guys a lot. So yeah, one of them, Garage Geek. I think I just discovered him like this summer, maybe late spring. But he's great. Check out Garage Geek. Also, Lost Mixtapes. He's really new to me, so I'm sure he's this year. Just a couple months ago, maybe a few weeks ago, I saw his, he's been popping up a lot, and he did a thing on reviewing REM albums that was really cool. And he's, yeah, relaxed, mellow talker, and real, that thing that I'm not, where you can say things and have them make sense. And also, so there's Lost Mixtapes, Fidelio's Frequency is another great one. Pretty sure he was this year. Ben Rankin, I think, might have been last year. It feels like I've been watching him for a long time, but he's great, down from Australia. A lot of great bands that I've never heard of. Embryonic Robot is also great. He's from Canada, and I feel like I've known about him for a long time too, but probably just this year. Garage Geek, I said, and All the World's a Stage, Steve. I'm pretty sure he's this year for me, but that's another one that feels like I've been watching for a long time. Show a record that you bought when you were a teenager. I don't think, I used to listen to records, but I don't think I actually bought any records until I was in my 20s, until after high school. Cause, yeah, anyway. So, but I did buy this tape of John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band. Was definitely a high school purchase. I was getting into the Beatles in high school. And this year, to keep with the theme, I got this record. Got it on vinyl for the first time. John Lennon's, well, kind of his official first real solo album, even though he had a couple with Yoko, right? I think that's the first one that counts. Next question, show a funk or a soul record. I got Lady Soul. Saw this just recently, within the last month. I've heard a lot of people talk about it on YouTube, on the VC, and so I saw it and picked it up, and it's pretty good. Okay, a record that everybody has, a record that nobody has. Finally got this year, 50th anniversary, Pink Floyd. So pick that up. Everybody's probably got it. Almost everybody. At least in some kind of format. If not on vinyl, right? And an album that nobody has. I'm going to go with this. This is a band I talk about a lot. I kind of, I guess, champion these guys a lot. They're a fantastic band from South Korea. Seisumi. This album is their second album, Where We Were Together. They're great. Surf Feel, Yola Tango, Velvet Underground. They do a Velvet Underground cover. They've got a lot of 7 inches and EPs. Only 3 full LPs. And I've got 2. Here's the other one. This one is their first one. We've Sobered Up. 2015, I think. This one's 2018. But I just picked this up this year finally. They're kind of expensive because it's Damnably Records. But yeah, I got this at a price that I could afford. So, but yeah, they're fantastic band. Uh, Pretty good range too. It's not just all surfy stuff. Most of it's in English. Some of it is. They have some instrumental stuff as well. Their surf flavored stuff is my favorite. But yeah, really great. She's the lead singer. I don't know her name. Kim. Anyway, I don't know. So, yeah. Um, Seisumi from South Korea. I don't think anybody has that. I know Sam. Sam, I know has this from Sam from everybody's favorite Sam from the VC, the douche, Sammy douche. But I haven't seen him show the other one. Let's see. Record that I would describe as a '90s classic. Pearl Jam's No Code, classic 90s album. This is the one that made me a Pearl Jam fan, like unapologetic Pearl Jam fan. I was one of those who I was a Nirvana fan when they came out, and I fell into that for some reason. That and it was Eddie Vedder. He kind of bugged me. Anyway, I've told this story before, and I should just move on. But Eddie really bugged me. Those first couple albums, even though they were good albums, I like them now. He like the rolling back the eye thing, and he just kind of bugged me. But this record was so great. Yeah, great record. 95? No, 96 probably. So the next question, number 18. If I could walk into the cover, look through your collection, choose a record you'd like to be a part of. This one, no question. It's wild. There's little peacocks. They're flying. It's madness. I've never done drugs because I was raised to be afraid of them, and it's probably for the best because I'm yeah, I probably wouldn't have done well on drugs, but scary, especially if Ginger Baker shows up. Anyway, super cool album cover. That might be kind of nice for a little while at least. But then got tired of that. I'd jump in this, have the house to myself. It's an empty house. This is Grizzly Bear's Yellow House. It's not as good as I remember it. I saw this this is the story of my life, my record collecting life. I see it and I can't pass it up. This was like 10, I think I want to say $10. It was the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and I got anyway, it's part of a deal where got it on a deal. So but yeah, Grizzly Bear. I'd go live in there for a minute. I have 3 kids, and sometimes just a quiet, empty house is appealing. So that's what I do. Here's some more of the house. Number 19. This is like a greatest hits. Show a record you're so familiar with that it feels like a greatest hits. Police, Synchronicity, final album by the Police. Finally picked this up on vinyl. I've got all of their stuff on vinyl now except for their first album, and yeah, it's great. I mean, they've got Mother. I guess they needed something to break up the hits, but other than Mother, everything on here, I think. I mean, Miss Gradenko, even Miss Gradenko is a great song. They're all just great. Everything on the second half, except for Tea in the Sahara, was yeah, all of these were actually released as, I mean, Synchronicity 1 and 2 were both singles, right? And that's half the Walking in Your Footsteps. Anyway, great record. Everybody probably knows that. That's my the final one. Show me an album that was released in '74. 50 years old this year. Randy Newman's Good Old Boys. It's got some great political songs on here. Funny. It's the follow-up to yeah, Wedding in Cherokee County, Rednecks, of course. Yeah, great record. I'm still This is probably my second favorite Randy Newman. My favorite, and I just got this on vinyl this year, but the follow-up to Sail Away, which is a fantastic record. But okay, so that brings me to, I'm going back to number 8 that I skipped. You probably want to stop watching here. I've probably gone way long. I can't tell now because I stopped it, but so I'm gonna go back to number 8. I'm gonna be kind of a dick. So, hey VC, how's it going? Out in the garage trying to finish this because the family's all asleep, and I missed a few questions when I was getting ready to upload it. So number 15 I missed. She's Great, a record by a female artist you bought in 2023. So this one's a CD, but I did get this in 2023. It's by David Byrne's St. Vincent. I think it's mainly a St. Vincent project. I really don't know. I haven't listened to it, but I got it probably last summer. Anyway, I got it for $1, and it appears, I didn't think so at first, but look, it's got these signatures on it, and maybe maybe it's real. Maybe I got David Byrne's signature there. But yeah, it's kind of a weird package. Holding this up so I can't. Anyway, I'll maybe show it on another video, but thought that was kind of cool. Don't know much about St. Vincent, so I haven't, but I like David Byrne, and I've heard good things about St. Vincent. All right, number 16, favorite video you posted on your channel in 2023, and the favorite video you watched on the VC in 2023. So that one, I'm going to say the second one first, because might make better sense. So, yeah, my favorite videos this year were probably the ones that Jeff Wichter did over on his channel. And Jeff Wichter, he did this deep dive series of a ton of different bands. And yeah, I've called him before the hardest working man in the VC, but because those take a lot of time, and more time than yeah, he's really good at it, obviously, but I liked his Pink Floyd series. That was one of the early ones. He did an REM series, Black Sabbath. I don't know Black Sabbath, so that was interesting to learn more about them. And I also wrote down the Monkees. He did a ton of them. I think he did the Doors. He's doing Rolling. Yeah, he did. Anyway, he's done a ton all year long. Those are really awesome. But I kind of got the bug to do that, to see if I could do it, and it actually yeah, made me so I can do editing now. Before that video, before trying to copy his videos, I hadn't bothered to go into the editing and figure out how to do it because I didn't think I had enough time. But anyway, so I made so my favorite video that I made was, I made like a music video, because he makes a bunch of music videos that go into his into the deep dives. He talks about the band and the songs, and then he puts together these music videos, you know. And that was one of my favorite parts of it. And so I made my own music video of REM's, the song is called You. It's the last song on Monster. And it was just fun to put together and fun to learn about I did that with QuickTime on my laptop, and I've since got CapCut on my phone. It works similar, but so that was just a lot of fun to make. I found this footage of a forest fire, and then it was only as long as like half the song. And so it starts out with like no fire, and then the fire engulfs this little patch of land. And so when it was at the middle, I just had it, there's this feature where you can reverse it. So it started with that catching flame, but then in the middle, it was just being engulfed, and then at the end, it's going out. And then I got some footage of some helicopters dropping water. Anyway, it was fun to put together. And then I interspersed that with like David Bowie clips and Elton John clips, like the kind of the glam rock era that they were sort of paying homage to with that record. So yeah, that was fun to do, and yeah, Jeff Wichter's were definitely among my favorite videos. Like again this year, he always I did a video last year. Probably won't have time to do it this year, but of just my favorite videos of the year, my favorite VC videos of the year, and he was on it last year too. But and so I think I got everything else except for number 8. I skipped that and meant to leave that one at the end, because I was gonna go off on this weird rant thing, but I'm not gonna do that. So instead, I'll answer it here in a different way. Let's see. Number 8 is, well, it's just the party. Who would you invite to your party? And I don't know why I need to read it. Yeah, it's you can invite living or dead musicians, music related people to your party. I occasionally have these recurring dreams. It's kind of weird. They're all different, but they're all like when I was in high school and I'm going to see REM. I never saw REM until 2004, 2003. I had plans to see him earlier, but in the 90s, but it fell through. Um, anyway, I recently had a dream where I was talking to Stipe, like in, in this weird gym. It's not my high school gym. It's actually my church gym, but he's like performing there with REM at their height, and it's not really super packed. But then I run into him it's weird. I don't know, but he's super friendly, and I've had a few like that where. So I would, and I, yeah, I've always been super interested in Stipe, and I met Peter Buck once, and I saw him in New York, and he was with -5, and he was at the merch table, and I was so intimidated and so wimpy that I didn't go talk to him or anything, but he was out on the floor, because they did like two halves. Had like an intermission sort of thing. Um, yeah, so I would have Peter Buck. Uh, I was gonna just say all the REM guys getting back together and talk to them because they've meant a lot to me, their music, and but I also put Chuck Berry in there. I've been reading his autobiography, and so I guess I'll go with 5. Yeah, all the REM guys and Chuck Berry. I had a couple others, Graham Cox and John Lennon. I just made a list, but okay. That's what I got. Thanks, Rob, for putting this together. Sorry it's so long. This is gonna be crazy long. All right. Have a good New Year. See y'all later.